One question I'm always asked in late spring or early summer is what happens to all the carp when they spawn in my ponds or my lake where I fish? Every spring I see carp spawning, weed being thrown up in the air, reed beds knocking about, lots of thrashing around, loads of carp eggs, yet by the following year, the whole lot have mysteriously disappeared. Well, when you look at these little robust critters in here, which are all about so big and look like they've had a really nice start to life, they're 6 months old and they've clearly made it, it's hard to imagine that for a little carp, there'd be any problems. However, these guys have had to sidestep some serious predators. Now, most anglers watching this will be well aware of the mighty pike or the predatory perch, which would hunt in a pack like wolves and snap up lots of little fish very quickly. But of course, for these guys to have made it to this size, there's actually quite a few other predators they've had to get past. Let's have a look at a few. Well, here we go. These are some of the most sinister carp predators on the planet. Let's start off with this little chap here. Now, many of you will have seen these, and when I was a little boy, I used to play around ponds a lot. This is called a water boatman, or back swimmer, as they're sometimes referred to. And there's two sorts you come across, lesser water boatman and greater water boatman. This is the greater water boatman, and this little character is definitely piscivorous. Now, when a carp first hatches, he's like a tiny shard of glass. It's a very small fish, and these guys will eat those. So that's the water boatman. We'll put him back in there. Moving up the scale slightly, we've got some dragonfly larvae in here, like this fella here. Again, this will take on and eat tiny little carp. And obviously, if you've got a pond or a lake with thousands and thousands of these in, you can imagine they're going to get through quite a lot of little fish. There's also some bigger dragonfly larvae in here. Look at this guy. It's a sinister animal if you're a little fish or a tadpole or a baby newt living in the pond. Underneath his head here is a formidable set of jaws which shoot forward and grab the victims. Now, this guy would eat lots of little carp in the course of a week or two. So in a pond, although we all love to see dragonflies skipping over the water on a beautiful sunny day, what a lovely fishy scene that paints, but these guys under the water are doing some damage to our beloved carp. We've also got peculiar looking character here. Now, this guy is an amazing looking thing. He's a water stick insect, and he's got two long tentacles at the front, and each one of those on the very end has got a nasty kebab shop like spike which would drive into its prey. So you would imagine him sitting up in the weed bed with his little snorkel up to the surface, hanging down like that, waiting to snare a baby carp with those rather ferocious looking fang-like skewers on the front of his head there. Next up is the aquatic wolf. This is Dytiscus marginalis, or the great diving beetle. Now, these guys are seriously piscivorous, which means they eat fish on a big scale. They also eat tadpoles and other small aquatic animals. These guys and their larvae, which are about the size of a large dragonfly, really do munch their way through fish. So as a fish farmer, I'm not keen on this little critter. And the last one in here, as a kid, I absolutely loved fishing for these. I'll make my hand nice and wet for him. This guy here is a newt. Now, I bloody love newts. They're as cute as you like. But this rather innocent looking amphibian, if you're a tiny carp the size of a shard of glass, is a predator that will eat you. We'll put him back in his little tray now. So there you go. You might not have thought that those little guys would cause much of a problem, but if you're a tiny carp the size of a piece of glass in your first few weeks of life, these guys are going to eat you up.